their ball. I don't like it.
Right. Do a 6-page research paper.
We're just gonna build the platform and.
How's it going, everybody? My name's Dev.
That's the challenge.
Support equals support.
I'm trapped in New Mexico, you know, and
Stay beautiful. Stay beautiful. Stay beautiful. Let them out. Let them out. Hey.
He's
Let
like,
him out,
let
let
him
him out.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
I don't.
How
Hey,
you
man.
gonna
I don't.
talk with the barrel in your mouth.
Bro, you know me. I don't know. I don't know anything that I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about the culture. I don't know about any of those songs.
Bro,
Actually,
I
do
told
know.
you, you're honorary now. You've been around me for 2 years. I gave you a lot of insight. You are honorary. You're good to walk through the hood. Make sure you're with me, though. So we can introduce you first.
He says,
Don't get cocky.
He says, you're good to walk through the hood, but you gotta come with me because realistically, what you're saying is you're not good to go through the hood.
Yeah.
Without
well,
me,
you're good after you get the introduction and everybody knows who you are. You'll be good. Fine.
It sounds like you're telling me I got like the beginner pass. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can go to the YMCA and swim the pool, but you need a parent or guardian to supervise you while you're at the pool. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like that's what you're
gonna
telling me.
need a hood guardian.
Yeah.
I'm your hood
A
guardian.
hood
I
guardian.
got you. I got you. Bow.
A hood guardian.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, peoples? How's it going? We're a little upset. I just got done working like a 12-hour shift, and yeah, coach. I guess coach is mad about that, but you know, there's nothing I can really do.
The Steeler games are on. Dev, I'm sorry. I'm going in there tomorrow morning and saying on Monday, Dev has to be out of there by 5 o'clock, or there's going to be problems.
There's gonna be a problem because the Steelers had 2 Monday night games this year.
I think this is their second one. Yeah.
I feel like they play. Didn't they play the Ravens on Monday night?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Or is it Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
They
You're
played.
right.
Yeah, I
It
would say
was
on Monday
Cincinnati.
night, which is weird, just giving them 2 like a Monday night game and
Bro, it's not weird.
two-
We bring
but
in
two
the
Monday-
best draw.
But 2 Monday nights. Do you know what I mean? I would say like 1 Sunday night, then like a Monday night or something.
We had a Monday, 2 Mondays, and a Sunday already, and I think we have another Sunday and a Thursday.
Man, I was gonna talk smack, but
You can't.
my Raiders don't have a winning record anymore, so I can't.
So if
can't.
anybody's out there, you got the score going on. The show, like it says in the title, we still got to do the show. We're committed to this. So this is pretty much like I tell all the women in my life, leave me alone when the Steelers are playing. You know what I mean? I tell my daughter that if it's not an emergency, do not say anything to me when the Steelers are playing. Everybody get away from me. So that just shows you how committed we are to this right now, is because I'm actually missing the game.
Yeah, right. Because well, the thing is, I came in here to the like Coach was still here at the studio, and I walked in. I was like, "We gotta go.
Let's go.
We gotta start." I'm sorry, I clapped way too loud. My microphone just was like, bleh. But yeah, like I said, we gotta go. We gotta get this thing rolling. Now, of course, we had a guest over, so we had to kind of talk with them. You know, talk about some
Business.
things.
We're handling business.
Business.
We're handling business. We got a lot of things going on. You can't see it, but there's a whiteboard. We got all these whiteboards filled with shit that we're doing, that we're building.
Right.
So it's going smooth. Dev's busting his ass. Everybody's busting their ass to get us to where we need to go. We're making those relationships. Bridging the Gap's going to get a facelift after our next year.
Like a Marilyn Manson facelift or like a...
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever way you want to take it.
Hey, man, everybody out there watching, let me know how you're doing, man. Like, come on, holler at your boy. Tell me how you're feeling.
Let us know what's popping. So either way, like, what is on the board? I know we had some things.
The Facebook portal, man. So like this has been bugging me because I was watching football on Sunday, and I've just been seeing advertisements for Facebook portal. Well, not just on that. I've been seeing Facebook portal ads on like Hulu, everywhere. I've just seen ads for it, and I just think it's like another thing like Amazon Echo, but it's worse because you're allowing a camera to be in your house right now. When you give Facebook permission to use your video camera and your audio, and even though Mark Zuckerberg and a lot of people, this is a full disclosure, they say that they don't do it, they do, because I mean, there's so many things online about it that could show you that it's been proven that they do eavesdrop on your conversations and look for the keywords to send you some kind of advertisement. Coach was a victim of one of those. He said the word lineman, and he was with a guy who was going to do lineman work, and because of that, they sent you an advertisement for being a lineman.
They sent me for merch, for like gear, like what they wear on their job. I'm like, how is this on here? And it was like literally, about 5 minutes after we walked out of the interview with the guy, they sent it straight to me on my timeline. So, and I think your phone wasn't even in the room, was it?
No.
Or you probably would have got one too.
Yeah, it was off and it was charging. But
That's
I'm saying
crazy.
it happened within a time, 15 minutes? Not even?
Not even. It was like 5 minutes. As soon as we sat back down, I was like,
They were like, oh, yeah, this is
lineman?
what they're doing. And it's like, wait, what? And look, I'm going to be honest. Look at Coach, man. He has no prospects of climbing telephone poles anytime soon. Unless it's to hide from the police or something, maybe.
Damn, bro. I got to be climbing telephone poles to hide from the police? Yeah.
That'd be a bad place, though, if you think about it, because they catch you. I mean, where are you going to go?
Bro,
You gotta stay
I
on your
might
feet.
have to assist somebody in some cable jumping, to get the free cables
The
going
free cable.
on.
You gotta be like,
Back
oh, yeah,
in the day, bro, I used to climb telephone poles to hook up some free cable, and then they'd come and turn it off, and then I'd just go back up and turn it back on. That was back in the day things, when we were young, dumb, doing things. I don't advise anybody to do it.
Yeah, right. Like,
Unless it's mine.
Coach is also not an expert. He's gonna say right now, right? You gotta say you're not an expert.
I'm not an expert at nothing criminal. Nothing criminal. That is my disclaimer right there.
Yeah, he's a master.
To only listen to the good stuff, I'm telling you. I only tell the bad stuff I've done in my life. 1, because I live by truth, and 2, because it's educational to tell you not to do it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's it.
But back to Facebook portal.
All right, go
Back
ahead.
But all I was saying was you're allowing Facebook to videotape you at your TV, right? And it's basically so you can just have a group. From what I've seen advertised, it's just so you can have a group call at your TV. That's it. That's all Facebook portal is. When I have a group call at your TV with Facebook, do it here. Here's Facebook portal, right? That's all I've seen advertised. Now I'm sure it does other things. It has other functions and whatnot.
Right.
But regardless, you're putting a video camera right in front of you. Now, if you've ever seen any some like videos or whatever of Mark Zuckerberg at their office in Apple, you see that they have when he's doing some pictures, whatever. He's got the tape over the camera at his own place. What's that tell you, people?
Somebody made $1 million idea by making just a clip to put over those things. They made $1 million.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
because that's how real it is. Like, I don't trust those things, bro. Like, I know we're living in that age and it's hard to find it, but I also believe this. If you don't use even what's his name said it on Joe Rogan, Snowden said it. The less of you use, everybody's using technology, but the less you use, the less noise you make of it. So think about a room full of people. Where does all the attention go? The loudest person. The other person could be in the background, making out with the hot chick and not even be noticed because he's quiet. Everybody's focused on that. That's sort of how that looks. The more technology that you use, the more that it's coming across those algorithms where they can do that. And I don't believe one word of them saying, oh, no, we don't listen to you.
Yeah. Oh no. And I think what Facebook portal is because they got that new Facebook Watch, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is just me, thinking out loud. I'm not saying this is specifically what's happening. We are, in fact, talking in the world of speculation. So, just so Facebook doesn't come down on me and kill me and tell me that I'm a monster, which they're probably already algorithming this and everything I say. So it's probably going to get downvoted and no one's going to watch it, but whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, you go through and you're sitting there in front of it. And Facebook Watch is this program where you watch Facebook shows like The Birch. The Birch is a show that I've been seeing ads for all the time on Facebook Watch and a bunch of other Facebook shows. And what the Facebook portal is going to do is going to monitor your watching habits. How much time do you spend in front of the television? I think that's exactly what it's going to do. And they're going to be able to have a camera on you all the time, and they're going to be monitoring how much time you're in front of the TV. Probably not with direct face recognition or anything, but rather just seeing the silhouette of you on the couch, seeing what time you come home. So then it helps them even send out advertisements to, when do we send out an advertisement to him about a TV show? Because when he gets home, they're going to want to advertise it to you when you're going to get home. They're going to set, you look at your phone, boom, there it is.
I think they're going to go as far as the facial recognition to watch to see how you're reacting to get the content.
I have to read the comments, guys, and to do that, I have to lean up because I am legally blind. I apologize, and I love you all very much.
But I think, like I said, I think they're going to go in that direction.
Who said? Someone said I am a monster? Kyle Miller. I'll tell you something about you, Kyle Miller. I don't know anything about you, to be honest, bro, but you know what I mean? Thank you.
Be a monster.
I'm a monster.
Be a monster.
Like Meek Mill's
inside
song.
of underneath your bed. What's that Rihanna song?
I'm friends with the
Eminem.
monster
Yeah.
underneath my bed.
Dude, you're fucking harmonizing it.
Underneath my base.
Can't do it. Can't do it. But no, I think they're gonna go if they're not doing it now, they will, because they're gonna want more and more and more and more information to target you. Because think about how valuable it is if you know what they're watching, what time they're watching it, and how they're reacting. Am I laughing at this content? So now they got all the, we see it. The insights they give us is unbelievable. So imagine the stuff they're not telling us. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they see, like we give them access to our TV and they're looking in our homes and they're seeing what we're watching. And then they see, oh, they love that show. He's cracking up of it. Let's make a show like that. Or let's divert their attention to
Or
this
send
show.
advertisements for the new episode of that show or whenever, and later in the future when the season's over.
And then we'll go to that show and tell it you owe us.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and
I
you're
believe you.
exactly right. And it brings up another thing too. I don't know, Coach. Have I ever heard the conversation about loyalty cards with you?
Loyalty cards now.
Do you know what why businesses push loyalty cards on people so much? Like Sheets.
Like saying if you stay with us and you...
No, like they say, here's the loyalty card. And they want you to scan it so you get discounts and freebies and all that
Their
stuff. Right?
spending habits.
Yeah, exactly. They want to know what you're buying, and that way because they sell all your information of what you're buying at Sheets to third-party advertisers, and other businesses like say Doritos. If you're buying a bunch of Doritos, they want to know if you're buying Doritos. They want to know
What
if you're buying breadsticks.
when to have the most on the shelves or whatever, like when to stuff
When to
like
have
that.
it, when are people buying it? Yeah,
Valuable
the
information.
reason why they give you some of the perks of that is because they're basically you're paying for them to selectively be analytical with their ads, essentially.
Right. They're gathering the information and spending habits of people, which is very powerful because you can control what we're spending, and they can monetize it for them themselves. That's why they knew this plan. That's why they never charged for Facebook.
Yeah.
They
right.
knew what Facebook was going to get to.
Well, the first step, I think, was them saying we got a social media market because they created the first big social media. MySpace was there, but then MySpace didn't because MySpace was dabbling things like, oh, let's make games but Facebook games just came out and crushed them so it wasn't even really much of a competition, But rest in peace, MySpace. MySpace was pretty dope. I do remember.
Let me ask you this before you go on: can you still get on MySpace?
I think it's done. I mean, I could try and get on right now, but I think MySpace is gone. I think because
if somebody's out there listening, try to get on MySpace and let us know.
Get
in
on
the
MySpace
comments.
right now and send Bridging the Gap a message of a screenshot of you on MySpace if MySpace is still a thing, because I don't know. I do know that they went for a major reboot though. MySpace went for a reboot back in 2012, I think, when I was still going into my first year of high school. They had a reboot. MySpace was we're back. And I think nobody, everybody made one, but then no one really stuck with it.
But if there's a revolution, there's going to be a site. If there's the revolution where something comes out about Facebook, it will become one of those things that they could jump on and maybe go back to. Do you think that's possible? Do you think Facebook crushed it by grabbing Instagram and all the things, all the maneuvers to acquire companies to keep control? Do we think that there's ever going to be something bigger than what Facebook has going on and Instagram and all that?
No. It'll adapt because of Facebook, Facebook, because the companies that own that are just going to branch off, almost like a virus. The people that are in Facebook, say if something happened to Facebook, they're just going to take everything they know, the business models, because pretty much me and you know the business model, and we're peons.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, really, it's not rocket science. So to say that would go away, no. I mean, will there ever be something bigger than Facebook? Probably, but not in recent, not anytime soon.
And I think they do what major companies do when there's a threat. They're so ahead and have so much money, they just buy it. They throw so much money at it that they can't ignore it, but they know that they're going to get that money back if they control that company on how they utilize and leverage it to help their main brand. So yeah, I see it. I mean, but did we think that about MySpace though? Was MySpace revolutionary?
Let's talk about that for just a second, because for one, when social media first came, nobody was thinking about how they're going to make money off social media. Think about it. No one was really
Except
because the people up
the
the
people
top
that
made
made
it,
it,
right?
yeah.
But then they're developing it. But us, the people that were on it, we were just like, oh, cool, this free thing, and no one really thought about it until the information really started coming out because you had enough people. The Facebook, the social network grew so big, so large. And by the way, Kyle, I did see your comment, and you said, do they do that at Lowe's? And I'm not quite sure if they do. You would know better than me, man. By the way, let me know about that. Did you get that girl's number for me when me and Zach left? I'd appreciate if you get back to me on that because she was cute. Not really that I saw her. You told me she was cute, but
Did you freeze up like I did?
No, did you tell this? I saw you told the story about the Dollar General. Coach, you gotta tell this story.
Oh my gosh. So like I don't know what made me bro. I woke up out of my sleep this morning and I was like, that just popped in my head. I didn't dream about it.
Oh.
It was just like my first thought. It was like, dude, you blew that shit, man. So I'm like, all right, let me make a post about it. And then I'm thinking about it. So like a couple weeks ago, I went to the dollar store. You know, I'm in the store grabbing some snacks for over here at the space. So we have, we have something to munch on while we're working. And I'm in there and I'm in line. I seen the lady come in. I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. So we're playing that going down the aisle things, not on purpose. I'm not a creeper or nothing. We just ended up in aisles. We'd be like, excuse me, you do that laugh and smile, but you can get the energy. So I'm in line and it ends up she's behind me and I hear something drop. So I turn around and it's her. I'm like, yeah.
It's that dun-dun-dun. Hey.
I'm like, yeah. In my head, I'm like, talk nice to her. Talk nice to her, coach. So I bend down and pick the stuff up and I'm like, here you go. She's like, I'm a mess today. This always happens when I don't grab a cart. She's got a whole handful of things. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm like, it's going to get better. And I'm like, I can't believe this just came out of my mouth. That's all I said. And I'm standing there
froze,
dumbfounded.
Like you're just like, it's going to get better.
It's going to get better. And I'm just like looking at her. And she's looking at me smiling like, say something. Ask me a question. Come on. Do it.
Say, we're going out to TGI Fridays.
Something. So I'm just like, I'm stuck dumbfounded. This doesn't happen to me often. I'm pretty smooth. So I turn around. I look at there's an older guy in front of me, and he just looks at me and shakes his head like, and he didn't even say he just went to pay for his stuff. But he was saying, "You blew it, you cornball.
You blew it."
That's all I heard him saying. And I'm
Cornball.
like, whoa, man. And it seems like that's how my life's been going. Like, but you know what it is though. I thought about it a lot today. It's because I'm focused on something else. My mind is on what we're doing right now.
No.
So chill, ladies.
Yeah, ladies, like, listen, it ain't you. It's me.
It's me. I got my mind on other things. But if that lady happens to be out there, hey, I'm right here. If you see this thing, hit me up. And let me fix that. Let me fix that situation. I am not that cornball. I got some smooth coof with me, so
Right.
give me
That's
that shot.
G Harmony. We're G Harmony right now.
Yeah, we're about to turn Bridging the Gap into a dating app, yo. So send in your profiles.
Send in your profiles, and we'll match you with someone who really, yeah, wouldn't that be something? Dude, that is something I've got to do, and I apologize to anybody who's heard me say that, and I haven't yet. The Tinder Tuesdays, we got to make those. I need like 3 people in a room with me when I decide, I'm like, all right, I'm on Tinder, and I'm swiping, and you guys get to, like, we'll put it on the big screen TV in here, and I'll record it, and, like, we'll be all laughing, having a good-ass time, being like,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Dev, what are you matching with this chick for? Like, I'll make a whole new Tinder just to start over. You guys will tell me what to put in my bio, what pictures to use.
Let's do it.
That'd be fun.
I'm all for it. And I want to do this one day. Like, next year, we're going to hold a couple events, Bridging the Gap. We're going to go out in the public and mingle. We're going to invite fans out, you know what I mean? Have some adult beverages and all that. So we'll see how that goes. But what we need to do, Dev, is have an episode of, what's that? What do they call that? The dating game? What is that? When you, like a dating, when you have people come in and they just like, a bunch of people come in and they sit at tables, talk for a minute, and then they go to the next, what's that called?
What do you mean?
Like when you have people come in and they sit.
Speed dating.
Speed dating. We got to do a Bridging the Gap speed dating with our fans.
We did talk about that a long time ago.
Like episode 2.
Yeah, bro. We were like, we got to do speed dating. But, oh, yeah, because that was a Tinder. We were talking about Tinder on that episode. Yeah,
Right.
I do remember. Now, Kyle says for him to pick up, when he sees a younger lady at Lowe's, first off, Why are we specifying younger? I'm not sure because we are younger, Kyle. So like we don't have to specify that she's younger. It's kind of implied. I mean, of course, you could be hitting on.
There could be some cougars out there running around.
I've seen some cougars that I could definitely be hitting on. But the point is, right now, anyway, he says that he leaves the number on one of the boxes when he's loaded, and then whenever he leaves the number there, he waits for the girl to see the number on the box that he loaded into her car, so then he doesn't have to push the issue right away. Man, you just gotta say something to be like, listen.
Does it work?
Does it? Yeah, that's the thing.
Give us the statistics. Like, how many times have you done it, and how many times
has it worked?
Yeah, has it worked?
But hold on. Remember, this is the conversation we had about Tinder. Remember, because we said, well, what do we classify as a win? So, like, what do we consider working? Like, she hits you back, like she texts you, or we consider?
Nah, you gotta at least go out.
No,
you don't have to smash. You gotta at least get out, see what she's about. But me, that's kind of scary. I learned in my age that I kind of want to have that conversation. I don't want to leave it up to here's my information and now I call you and you're batshit crazy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. like that would be like you're like, all right, let's go on a date, and then you go on a date and it's like, hi, these are my 17 cats, and you're like, oh my god, what did I get myself into?
I'm trying to get away from you. I'm getting out of here.
You're like running, you're sprinting
without paying a bill. I'm leaving you with the bill, you crazy person. But this is one of the things that happens. You know, that would be kind of weird. What's the I don't think we should be talking about this. Lowe's might get you guys. Hope Lowe's ain't watching, man. But either way, all right. So the portal. So we got to watch up on that. I suggest people, to be honest with you,
just don't get it.
Yeah, I suggest
What's the point?
Stay away from as much technology as possible. Learn about it. Learn how to use it efficiently.
Yeah, exactly, and use it for the right things. Also, just don't get like you don't need to video chat 4 people at your TV. You just don't. And if there's I'm pretty sure there's apps and things like Skype for that. You can just hook your computer up to your TV and then Skype somebody. You know, I mean, not saying maybe Skype's not better, but damn it, Skype, I'm not worried about Skype as much as I am Facebook trying to take all my information and sell it to advertisers.
We're bringing Skype back.
We are bringing Skype back. Skype, send us an invoice, Skype.
So we need all of our guests. That's what we use is Skype. So we're going to get as much guests as we can, and then we're going to send an invoice to Skype. Sponsorship, baby. We're bringing you back.
Wow. A harrowing statement from our guy Kyle Miller, who said, F Lowe's.
Oh.
F Lowe's.
Hey, I heard that.
I heard that, yeah, because he's mad because we're missing the Steelers game.
Yeah, we're missing the Steelers game because of Lowe's. And every time I go in Lowe's, I don't find it to be a great experience.
Yeah, it's because I'm not there. I'm not there helping everybody out, you know.
Is that what it is? That you're not there?
Right. Yes.
Well, when I go into Home Depot, I feel like I'm not it's family, man. They send me to the deals.
They send you to the deals.
They be like, "What are you looking for?" Oh, come over here.
They got like the orange aprons. Because I was just in a Home Depot for the first time in a long time with my dad because we had to go get the turkey cooker because me and him made our homemade wings. First time making homemade wings to watch the Penn State game down there at State College, and wow, we had a good time. Now, we spent 3 hours or 2 hours building the wing maker because, you know, it doesn't come fully assembled for some reason, which was annoying. But we made it, and when we cooked wings in it, and they were great. Actually, the first batch are really crispy. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, yeah.
No, can I ask you this? Why did you go to Home Depot? Don't they have those at Lowe's? Wouldn't you get some kind of, deal?
Lowe's didn't have it.
Oh, they didn't have. You guys tried.
Lowe's didn't
Or
have
you
it.
just knew.
My dad looked. We were in State College.
Oh, okay.
So we had to go to Lowe's and Home Depot in State College. And my dad looked it up and he's like, Home Depot's got it, but no one else had it. The Home Depot, or it was like some other grilling place, like actual grilling store, and he wasn't gonna go there. He's like, it's probably like
So bottom line is you didn't bring back no fucking wings for me.
Well, you see.
What?
Look at the look of betrayal on Coach's face. He's like,
you bring no wings back.
Oh, bro, listen, hey,
cool.
Saturday,
Yeah.
Halloween party down at State College at my dad's place.
Let's do it.
He's making homemade wings.
Let's do it. I love chopping it up, watching some games, having fun, eating some good food around good people. It's always great. And anytime I can go to Happy Valley, I'm fucking with it, bro. I'm there. When I was there the other day, bro, I don't know if I told you this. My heart was beating out of my chest. I was like, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's time to go. I was ready to start coaching. I was ready to go on the field.
Just go on the
Be
field.
like, Coach Franklin, I'm coaching this one. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean?
But I was going to say, our boy Kyle comes back and says, what a surprise that Lowe's didn't have something and Home Depot did. Yeah, I know. It's
So
a shock.
who would win the
But you
the
know
battle?
something? We never work at Home Depot because I guarantee you, there's a part of me that really guarantees
Same thing.
that Home Depot employees have to refer people to Lowe's because they don't have the same thing. Like, it happens, but you just don't know it because it's just, I think selectively, cooperatively, Home Depot and Lowe's order things and they say, all right, I'm going to have this and you're going to have that. That way, then
That
they
could
can
be true. Could be a backroom deal.
Yeah, again, we're speaking speculatively here, but I think that's probably, because if you're going to be two home improvement, basically stores, right?
Right.
And you're going to always, there's always a Home Depot right beside a Lowe's. So, I think you'd have to make that decision because then if not, some people just pick the one over the other.
Yeah, they probably sat down
It's
on
a
a
personal
long
preference.
vacation on one of their islands, the owners, and were like, "Hey, dog,
Dog.
you can't order these.
They're
You can order those. I'll order these, and we'll just swap customers back and forth."
Two old white dudes looked at each other and said, "What's up, dog?
What's up, doggy?
Dog, listen, dog. Dog, let's talk about what you got in stock, dog. Okay,
Doggy.
dog? All right, dog. Cool, dog.
But yeah, so it is what it is. You guys gonna have to straighten Lowe's out. I was hoping be young execs, kick in the door and say this is how it's going now.
This is how we're doing things, Lowe's. Kick in the door and say, dog, listen.
This is how we're doing it. This is how we are doing it. Hey, sorry about that. We got to get up. We're not in our usual thing because of Dev had to work a lot today. There was a lot of things going on, but we still had to bring you a show. So a little different, but we're still going to bring it the best way we know how with the energy.
Right, exactly. I think this is a better feeling because, we're really in the room with each other.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I say, it has have not just one in a room, but me and you together. Last time we did one, I think it was whenever, nobody probably knows this, but I was, having a heart attack during the show, and then I was like, all right, I got to go to the hospital, but I actually wasn't having a heart attack. I guess I just had inflammation in my lungs. I don't know, whatever the fuck they said.
He had the space herpes.
I had space AIDS. It was a side effect of space AIDS. By the way, anybody
He
get
had the
space
Sam
AIDS?
Darnold.
Watch, you had Sammy Darnold. Sammy Darnold. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Armchair Referees, go check out the video we just put up. I'm in it. Coach was our cameraman. It actually looked great. I had a couple people tell me that it looked almost borderline cinematic, and it had them laughing the whole time. So go check out Armchair Referees. Go listen to their podcast. Shameless plug for Mediated Media Productions. Have a good one.
Always. So I woke up this morning again after I had that thought, and then I went to social media and said, let me find something. Then we went to Ashley's page. Ashley's page always pops up. I don't know, probably because we're connected in some way on her pages. Right. And she had a watch party up in Pittsburgh. A bus fell in a sinkhole, man. It is crazy how this. I'm saying this. Dev's saying, well, what is it? It's called a sinkhole.
Let's go to sinkhole. If I know my stuff about geology correctly, and I may not because I'm not a geologist, but a sinkhole is essentially, because especially in places like Pennsylvania, we have watersheds, we have caverns, we have all kinds of stuff that people build on, right? And the problem is there's all this loose, silty soil underneath the ground. And the water, and eventually water running and precipitation and whatever, it rolls all that dirt from underneath the ground, right? Almost creating like a cave or like a vacuum. Almost like there's an empty space underneath the ground. And eventually what happens is the dirt that's up top, right, because it's eroding away from underneath, can't support the weight of what's above it anymore because the hole gets so vast, and then you have all the dirt, all the land just falls. And it sinks right into the ground because there's actually nothing beneath it. Or there's enough there, but it couldn't support all of the whatever was on top of it. And of course, a bus, if you have a bunch of, which also building a road on top of it doesn't help. When you have a road on top of it, does not help the soil on top, because I was actually talking to a buddy of mine who said that I was talking to him about there was a sinkhole in State College at the football field, the high school football field back when I was in 10th grade. Just because that's Pennsylvania, that's the weather we live in, the climate, it just sinks in.
So there's a lot of sinkholes in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, there are a lot of sinkholes, and just like I said, the ground's moving a lot. Not because of an earthquake or a fault line, but because
moisture.
Water, because it's just pulling. and we have the thing. The thing is why we don't have as many sinkholes in Pennsylvania is because most of our soil is very clayey. It's very sticky. Doesn't move a lot.
Right.
But if you have places where, like, especially down by Pittsburgh, it's by a river. The ground underneath it's alluvial soil. I mean, it's just moving. You know,
Right.
it's silty, and it's going to be more easier to move than, say, the clay soil.
Okay, that's Dev's explanation. Dev's giving you the scientific one.
Okay, here we go.
I'm giving you what I've known for years, that PennDOT ain't shit. They should be knowing these type things, that these things are going on. Pittsburgh actually was on the list of the worst roads and bridges in America. Like, they are deteriorating in that town, from the roads to all that. I think these are these preventable things? Is a sinkhole could it be prevent?
Yeah,
is there
definitely.
things
If
that
you're-
you could notice that it's happening?
If you're doing well, for one, there's probably gonna be signs of sinkage, like the ground's gonna sink in. But the thing is, you have to be surveying the ground.
You have to survey.
And that's the thing is that would be something that probably PennDOT, the DOT would be, the Department of Transportation would be responsible for, is that there'd be surveying the ground and whatnot around you. So it's it's very possible. So I know I agree, and also I disagree that PennDOT sucks. Period.
You disagree they suck?
No, I agree.
Oh, you agree.
I agree, period, they suck.
Oh, because back home in Erie, where I'm from, we always had this problem, bro. They do remember when we were going down here and they're out here working? We
Yeah.
were like, why are they working at this time
Of the
doing
year.
all this
Right.
now? So that's the thing that goes on a lot, like where we're from. I don't know if you ever seen this meme that I posted. It was it shows a block road from, like, the Romans, that the Romans built back in the days.
Yeah.
And it says this lasted over 2,000 years. And then it shows PennDOT's roads, and there's holes, and, like, it's torn apart and all that. That's how it helps. Like, wouldn't you think that technology would bring us better roads that you don't have to constantly fill?
Yeah, well, that's the catch-21, because see, a stone road, the amount of physical manual labor to build a stone road and all those things, and it would be
So the microwave effect is what everybody
basically
wants.
It's like, yeah, these roads aren't sustainable.
But we can get 'em out quick.
Yeah, but we can get them out and fix them quick and get them done and everything else. I mean, because let's face it. I mean, when they get, like, the thing out that, like, actually lays down the new blacktop and everything on the highway. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only out for, they're doing work on the sides and stuff, of course, but whenever they actually do the laying of the asphalt, I mean, it only takes them a day or two to do, like, a 4-mile stretch of highway. But as for, like, the Romans, they built a road that
Took them, like, 20
20
years.
and they got, like, from there to their palace or whatever, and you know how many people died building that thing? That road better be good. It's probably built out of the skeletons of dead people.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people in there, man.
Yeah, they're, like, just dead underneath the ground. Now,
buried.
but no, I agree. And you know what? Here's the thing. And this will tie into what we were going to talk about later on, too. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump passed bills for infrastructure, rebuild the infrastructure. Or and I don't know this. This is kind of like, I'm asking you, audience, if you know. Look it up, because I'm not. Are the bridges being rebuilt in Pittsburgh?
Right now, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because if we're getting an infrastructure bill, and then you're looking at your town, your city, one of the major cities in America, has one of the worst bridges in America, and then you pass an infrastructure reform bill, don't you think it would be like it'd be priority, would it not? It'd be priority to
fix
fix
the
Pittsburgh's
worst ones
bridges?
first.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst ones first.
Especially in highly populated cities.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And it's dangerous because there's a lot of bridges that are going over the 3 rivers. Like, there's those 2 main bridges that are down. I think there's 2 of them. I think that's how many there is. And they're going around all those rivers that if they fall down at some point, and they're just putting Band-Aids on them instead of, you know what I mean, like using the infrastructure bills and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Kyle brings a good point that Tom Wolf, governor of Pennsylvania, passed a bill where they cut DOT funding.
So we're just like, don't worry about it. No roads.
Yeah.
Car dealers are loving it. Mechanics are loving it because your cars are getting all banged up and
Screwed up.
potholes and all that, and you got to go in and do a lot of work to it. So it's one of those things. To me, there was something.
Now my car gets a dent and I just walk it. I push it. I just push the car. I'm like, all right,
just walk
we can't take. Yeah, we can't take the car's just gonna stay here. If it just don't start. I mean, we're not taking it.
We got to figure that stuff out, man, because, like, infrastructure, that's a big thing that a lot of voters want to know that need to be fixed. That's a big thing that Trump ran on, though, right? And I'm proud of us, by the way. Before we go forward, We haven't talked about this dude in a long time, but I kind of want to get it because we got a guest coming up that we're gonna strictly focus on it, so we'll ease our crap people into it because a couple of things are coming up that we're gonna talk about today that I think need to be addressed because I just find it hilarious. So the infrastructure definitely is something that he ran on, and he said he was gonna attack. And I haven't seen anything, so we're gonna have to hope somebody takes charge. We know it ain't PennDot.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We know it ain't PennDot.
But and also too, it's the work ethic of I think townships and all that. I mean, yeah, they work, but you know, I my dad and them always made jokes about, no, Timmy, save that screw for next week. Don't you tighten that bolt too tight. We need that so we have something to do Wednesday, so we get our check.
All right, so you're stretching it out.
Yeah, stretch it out. All right, stretch out the work. Like, all right, don't do too much today. Let's stand around for a couple minutes, guys. Come on.
Do we say? Okay, I know I don't want to say this the wrong way because we're actually tearing apart the prison structure and looking into doing that. But let's just say the ones that we think should do it, like child molesters, and if you do crimes against, against older people, make them go out there and do that work.
Yeah. Now, child molesters, that'd be bad just because I feel like people would start just like, nothing would get done because people would be like people would be pulling over. Wait, those are the Chesters. Get out of the truck. Oh, I'm going to kill, you know what I mean, just because.
You're right. There would probably be a lot of protests.
Like once you're a child molester, man, I think you're just you're in the hole and you're in the hole for, you can't go back into society, period. Because, not just because you're a threat to society, but because society is a threat to you.
Yeah, you might not make it back.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not make it back to your cell. So, yeah, shoot that idea out the window.
Yeah, that's grab it, take that idea, ball it up.
That was a miscue on my. I didn't think that through too well.
But no, I mean I do agree because I had pictures of it too. It was when I was down in Cambria County, I did see prisoners that were doing like the litter patrol and stuff like that. And it's like, well, why not have them do? Like, because I mean, what you're in prison.
But they would bump it up. There's people down south that do it a lot. But what they would do, all the work to tearing down the structure, if they were just saying, okay, we're gonna do that again, they would just start putting people in jail again for ridiculous shit.
Right, exactly. You know, you're right. But the thing is, you'd have to I think they'd be compensated fairly, in a sense, like a reduced rate. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, they had to be paid like a wage, I think.
Well, that would be a win. And I would say maybe that money has to be sent home if they have kids to their kids. Like they can actually get more than pennies on the dollar, and then they could get a percentage of it. But if they got kids, it needs to be sent home. Or if they don't have kids, it needs to be put in some account so when they get out, they have something to get some clothes, to go get a job and
very
stuff
key.
Like that.
That's very key what you just said.
Right.
That needs to be put into. I think it should be put in an account so that way they have something when they leave prison, because most people leave prison with nothing. They leave prison with nothing and they get institutionalized because they have nothing for them.
And there's nothing but going back to your old ways.
Because there's family members who have now probably turned their backs on you. There are and you're trying to change for the better. And the people that would be most supportive of you for some reason have gotten bougie. And you have no money, you have no place to stay. You're trying to figure everything out. Once you get out of jail, say some people have been in there 5-10 years, coach. What are you gonna do? Like you're just like, all right, like you had like this whole plan.
In 5-10 years, a lot changes.
Yeah, exactly. Because you haven't talked to nobody, you haven't seen nobody, besides people that come, of course. But
yeah, they come. Well, that's not a lot, bro.
But even then,
jail visits are far in between.
Yeah, far in between. And when they are talking to you, like when you have somebody, things are changing between that they aren't even talking about. They're talking to you, see how you're doing. You know, obviously,
it's a shock when you come out. If you do over 10 years, you're gonna come out to a culture shock. You're gonna come out to technology shock.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
You're gonna see something. You're like, what is this? Or,
I couldn't imagine the people that got locked up when the Razor phone. Remember we joked about the Razor, like the Verizon Razor phone, like everybody was like crazy about back when I was in high school.
Right.
Like they went to jail when that was big, and they come back out now. What do you mean it's a touch screen? I had a keypad I had to type on. What do you mean there's Facebook on your phone?
Yeah,
and like all that other stuff.
Mobile. Wow, that's great. But in saying that, we're gonna just have to see what's going on moving forward with the bridges down there. Nobody got hurt in that bus thing. I think it needs to be something they need to look at because, like I said, I watched this 4 or 5 years ago that they said that the infrastructure in Pittsburgh is the worst in the country.
Yeah.
So
I think that'd be a good topic for us to bring back up another time. Just
we'll bring our friend Ashley back on because she's on the front lines down there recording the stuff, looking at it, and got the information.
and we'll ask her about it.
Let her talk. Let her tell us what she knows knowledgeable.
Yeah, and Kyle asked us, what do you think about the ISIS leader being killed? You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
All I was gonna say is that, for one, I don't think much of an ISIS leader being killed as much as I think of, you know what I mean, the war on drugs. That's how I think of the ISIS leader being killed. Because, yeah, congratulations, you got some guy who's selling drugs, But, I mean, really, are we looking at the problem, the source of the problem? And for, the drug, for drug addictions, whatever, it's the people that manufacture the drug epidemics and whatnot, especially like the opiate crisis we're dealing with right now, which is pharmaceutical. We got to look at the people that are the source of it. And I don't think of religious extremism, especially in the Middle Eastern area. You got to look at the source of the problem. I think it's several things, whether it's geographical, it's political, and it's religious, all three, and they have not addressed any of those issues. So congratulations, you killed the leader of ISIS, but you've really done nothing. I mean, the people of the Middle East are still fighting with each other and whatnot. I mean, great, good for them, great. I mean, a bad guy's gone, I guess, but at the end of the day, I still think they haven't addressed the real issues, and that's probably going to come back to bite us here soon. Just like Osama bin Laden, like it really didn't change. We're still over in the Middle East. We got him. We're still over there.
Yeah, they're just looking somebody to throw and say, hey, look what we did to distract from a lot of things that's going on. To me, the intelligence that we have in this world and the technology we have, we knew where that dude was at. We could have got that dude. It was used as a political pawn, which they did with everything that they do. They use that situation until it's no longer, and then they need something to feed to us. So we be like, yay, good job. But to me, ISIS is so minimal to me. Always have been. We could crush that whole thing if we wanted to. We could crush it. And then it would just have to go back to anything else. It's something that they don't have no threat. They make it seem like it's a threat so they can do their agenda.
Let's be real. ISIS is a threat to the people of that country.
That's it. It's none of our business.
Right. And, and the thing is, Coach, though, you understand, is America, ever since World War II, has become the world's police.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are. They're gun for hire. The police because a lot of because this is a point that Alex Emerson, which is a guy he's starting to be a political political sciences, I believe. I haven't really talked to him in a minute, but I'd like to have him on the show just to talk about this stuff because he's studying it. And he said it to me is that there are a lot of countries that don't pay for a military because they have American embassies and soldiers and whatnot, and that's basically what they have. They have basically American soldiers in their country taking care of things.
And then America gets to do what they need in there to
right, they have
protect.
A little bit of pull. It's like a contract. It's like a private militarization contract almost.
Barter system.
Right, exactly.
We'll protect you from the bullies, and then you give us what we want that's in you, whether it's natural resources, whether it's building your infrastructure and giving contracts to certain people.
47 virgins, whatever it is.
47 virgins. Yeah, to me, it's nothing. I think it was just a planned thing because we're getting into the point of the thing like we'll talk about now. We're getting to that point where the campaigns are going to have to come from outside of the rallies, that you're only getting the claps from the people that are supporting you. Now you got to go in front of people, and you have to show who you are in front of the people that dislike you, and you're going to get a lot more footage of that. So they use tactics like that. So, and that's where we'll go into this. Like, Trump's went to the game last night, the World Series game at the Washington. It was in Washington. The Washington Nationals against the Houston Astros. Weird scenario over there. They booed him. You could clearly hear that he was being booed, and they were chanting, lock him up, like everybody's saying at his rallies, and you could see it in him and his and the first lady and the people around it. They were trying to just, how they put the camera. They were just trying to see like it was good, all good, everything's good, but then you could see inside the melting inside of him, like the realization of, oh my God, these people really hate me.
People really don't like me. I mean, because if I was president of the United States and people were telling me to lock him up, bro, it'd shake me.
Yeah.
I'd be shook if a whole state, think about it, a whole stadium of people are all in the same building as you, and they want you in a cell. Now, granted, do I think Donald Trump deserved to be in a cell? Whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean.
We'll see what the to me they're not gonna, even if they find, it's just not good to lock up a president.
No,
he would just have to step away. If they find so much, they'll just go to him and say, "Here's your choice. You want to go?" And people, a lot of people are saying even if he gets voted out, he's gonna go kicking and screaming. Oh. He's not gonna just give it up.
Oh, for sure.
He's not gonna be there shaking the hand of the next president.
Yeah, no.
And saying, "Hey, it's your turn." It's not going to happen. No. So we're in a whole different type of game there, and I think like what I get out of it, like to me personally, there's some things we're going to discuss this down the road too. We put that on the list of things we're going to do in the new year. We're going to cover some things about the election overall, not just that. We want to see what are the things that he really did. Mm-hmm. Is it a carryover, the natural carryover from things that have been done in the past? Is it stuff that he did? There's some things that I agree with that he did. There's a lot of things that I agree with that he didn't do.
He didn't do, right.
So I don't look at and now you're going to, okay, I look at those things and say that's fine, but just the way that this man is acting and getting the people in America to act and be more divisive is the reason why he shouldn't be in that position. You hold that high position, you should act and be an example.
And bringing people together. You're the guy who's pretty much holding the country together.
Yeah.
And you're separating it. And to piggyback onto that is looking at the truth of all of the claims Donald Trump has made, because I think a president really is only as good as his word and his integrity and his respect. And the way he's treated people of this country, there is no respect. You know, you can say what you want about Barack Obama. Did he make some ill decisions? Of course. But that's part of being a leader as well, especially whenever you're the master and chief of the military. You're going to do things that people just don't like, and they're going to be the wrong decision. I'm not defending Obama. He made some terrible decisions in Syria, which is why we have some of the problems we have now. But, again, what you can't say about Obama is he had grace and dignity towards the people of our country, whether they were white, black, whatever, So, and he was a terrific public speaker. So, Obama, I mean, to me, gets the nod a little bit. I mean, not to say he's like the greatest president ever, but, he gets the nod.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, to me, my stance.
Oh, and Obamacare, too, was also a travesty. It was a wreck. Good.
And that's the thing, though. When we talk about things, I think, like, this is the problem. We're going to stick to this right here for a second. This is the problem. It's not per se the presidents that are due. You have to, when you implement a plan, like how we were just talking about our business and the growth of it, how it takes years.
Yeah, it takes years.
You can't put somebody in there and it takes them 4 years to get something done. Most they're going to get is 8. Most presidents get another term. So it takes them a while to get something done. So you say put a 5-year plan together. The ideas of some of these presidents have, but when you come in and the person after it says no, just because it was a political wasn't an ally of theirs, and they need to feed their base, they just got to tear everything down and say, well, why don't we take the parts out that are bad and then try to build on those and then leave something better for the next person. It's like generational wealth. Like you want to build something and you want to pass it around to your kids so they can build on it, and hopefully that keeps going so your name lives forever and your family doesn't have to struggle. Right. It's the same process when it comes to that.
But the thing is, the difference though is the common goal. When you own a business, you're passing down generational wealth. When you give it to somebody, there's a common goal, which is the prosperity of you and your family and the values you get started with. That's what the goal usually starts out as. Now, of course, that could change in the business world. Mm-hmm. But the common goal in politics is constantly evolving and changing because we have a bipartisan system that constantly fails. Because realistically speaking, the two parties, they really don't have the country as the people's best interest in mind from what it seems like most of the time. What they do is they try to frame things as if it's good for you when it isn't. There's always some kind of backhand slap, which again, that's kind of like what happens when you work on a national scale. When you make rules and decisions at a national scale, someone's usually going to get and it's not really because of like they don't want to do it that way, but certain things have to be done so they can make things better. But at the same time, it doesn't hold you accountable because when you say it holds you accountable because when you make those decisions, just as one of our guys we're speaking with before the show said, one of the guys we're consulting with in business said, as an entrepreneur, as a politician, as whatever, you have to be able to be, if you make decisions, because you have to make them, you have to be 100% responsible. You have to be able
you
to
got to
take
be.
that.
If you want to play leader, you got to take it. That's why always as a coach, when we lost, it was I screwed up. Even if a kid missed a play, and there was several penalties and stuff like that, and I go back and look at the sheet because we didn't win 3 out of the 5 that you're supposed to win. And if you win 3 out of 5, it's like a 90% chance you're going to win the football game. So if we lost in those things, time of possession, turnovers, etc., total yards, etc., those things, if we lost those things, it's because I did not prepare them well for the game. So in the leadership role, you have to take responsibility. You cannot point the finger. I can go behind doors and say to my coaches, why the fuck weren't they ready in this position? I trust you. I don't want to coach you. You know, I can say that behind closed doors, but you don't do it out in the front. You try to fix the problem. You adjust and stuff like that. That's what we have to do. To me, that everything goes back to football.
Yeah.
You have to adjust.
To me, everything, a quote, that is going to be a great quote. I think that's really what we should rename the title of this video. To me, everything goes back to football.
Everything goes back to football.
Speaking of which, how are our Steelers doing? Why has no one told us how the Steelers
Yeah,
are
nobody
doing?
told me. I'm over here trying to get off the phone, but we almost made it to an hour. Where are we at? I don't see the time on there, Deb.
You don't see the time? Well, sir, I'll let you know we're at 51 minutes.
51 minutes. Woo! I get to watch the Steelers. But guys, you guys are awesome though, man. We've been looking at things. We looked at the insights yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Was that yesterday or was that the day before?
It was like Friday.
Dude, I'm missing days, man.
I know, like the days have just gone by. The weekend blew by, man, for me. Just gone.
Sounds like you had some fun with your dad, hanging out with your dad, watching the games.
Oh yeah, I don't see him that much, and it was a good time. And you know, just getting to shoot the crap with him. You learn a couple things, hang out, see my other sister, my stepmom. You know, family guys. Hey, if you have, shout out to y'all. If you know, this entrepreneur life is hard, man. I haven't seen y'all. Love y'all. And if anybody's out there, you know, you're hustling, you're grinding, go check on your family, man, because like I said, they will help you so much. And like I said, if you're stressing right now, just seeing them will make you feel better, I promise. Unless they're the cause of your stress, well then of course not. But
yeah, you
check
gotta make time. Like they say, I don't have that word, or not that phrase that people say. They say, well, I'm busy, I'm doing things, even though they're doing something that's positive, like building something. You have to make, because the best entrepreneurs will say that's bullshit. You make time for the people that you're supposed to have around you. Everybody doesn't have to be on the same wave that you are on, like doing what you're doing. They could be just working, taking care of their family, but that's your boy. You go check on your boy, have a beer with them, and say, hey man, how are you? This is what I'm doing. What are you doing? Your kids are cute. Smack them on the ass, and then go back to work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit
Exactly.
like that. It's just stuff you got to do. You got to pick somebody and make time. I've thought about that a lot down here. I'm away from my family. I got to get back there, see them more. So always take time to do that, man. So shout out to all of our families, everybody that spends time with your family and still able to get out there and handle business.
That's what's up. Well, because people that handle business hang out with their family.
Yeah.
That's right. We're like Captain Planet of hanging out with your family right now, man.
We're building. We're
Yeah.
starting a motivational thing next year.
Here's our motivational thing.
We're going to have like
Yeah.
a 10-minute motivational video.
Oh yeah, and hey, one thing we do want to talk. We kind of did talk about some of the things you have coming up next month. But one of the other things I wanted to touch base with real quick. A couple people got to me today, Coach. One person said about we're gonna have a musician guy who's writing a book about 40s and 50s music.
Okay.
He wants to come on the show. Possibly, I haven't talked to him yet. And this week, I think I'm going to have one of those one-on-one conversations with Zeb Lego. He just wants to pop in for like 30 minutes and just talk about the Syria situation because, you know, it's kind of divulging over there. Like Syria's, you know, and Turkey are kind of going at it. I want to research, do some more, do some more due diligence that way. Whenever Zeb comes on, I have a couple of good questions to ask him and everything.
And we have a great couple ones coming up. I don't want to, one of them I don't want to put out there yet because I've been chasing this one for a while. I needed to get this. I think it's very important. They finally got back to us and they said, yes, they will do it. I just want to keep it on the hush until we get an exact date from them. I don't want to ruffle their feathers. I want them to do it because they're out here doing some real superhero shit. When you think about superheroes, you see comic books and the movies, but these guys are out here really doing some superhero shit, and I can't wait to get them on to explain this shit to you.
Yeah, but Coach, you got anything else?
Nah, Steelers.
Steelers. He's like Steelers. By the way, bro, they lose to Miami, bro.
Bro, don't even put that in the
Bro,
universe,
bro,
man.
if they lose
Don't
to
put that
Miami-
shit in the universe,
If they
man.
lose to Miami,
what
bro,
are you doing
you're
to me,
so
man?
bad. All right, take
Just
care.
because
See
the Raiders
yourselves.
lost.
Bye.